سلام، به کانال دانش ورزش خوش اومدین. من فرشته هستم و با پخش مستقیم مستر المپیای 2024 همراهتونم از لحظه شروع مسابقه تا اعلام نتایج. این کانال جدید اخبار تلرسانی مستر المپیا و سایر مسابقات حرفه‌ای بدنسازی. پیشنهاد میکنم حتما عضو کانال بشین. بالاترین کیفیت ویدیوهای اخبار مستر المپیا 2024 رو میتونید تو کانال دانش ورزش ببینید. حتما ویدیوهامون رو لایک بکنید، به اشتراک بذارید و از ما حمایت بکنید که در کنارتون باشیم تا لحظه اعلام نتایج، هم امسال و هم انشالله تو سالهای آینده. خب با هم میریم کنفرانس خبری مستر المپیای 2024 رو ببینیم. آقای هادی چوپان هم توی این کنفرانس حضور دارن. تصویر نفرات برتر مستر المپیا رو میبینید. دسته فیزیک مردان، فیزیک کلاسیک و اوپن، همینطور ویلچر. منتظریم تا همه تو این کنفرانس حاضر بشن. کریس پامپستد هم اومد، قهرمان 5 دوره متوالی مستر المپیا تو دسته فیزیک کلاسیک اومده که برای ششمین سال متوالی مدال طلا رو از آن خودش کنه. ساندور هم که این وسط میبینید. ساندو به نفر اول رقابت هر دسته تعلق میگیره. برندون کری کنفرانس خبری مستر المپیا رو از دست ندین، تا آخرین لحظه‌اش رو حتما ببینید. پر از کوری خونیه، خیلی جالبه. اگر هنوز عضو کانال دانش ورزش نشدین، پیشنهاد میکنم همین الان عضو بشین تا ویدیوهای مستر المپیای 2024 رو با بالاترین کیفیت ببینید و لذت ببرید. سامسون دائودا هم اومد رقیب هادی چوپان دسته اوپن. شهرت سامسون دائودا در واقع از سال 2021 شروع شد، زمانی که مقام دوم آرنولد کلاسیک رو کسب کرد. همون موقع بود که تونست جواز شرکت تو مستر المپیا 2022 رو بگیره و روی استیج مستر المپیا حاضر بشه. خب هادی چوپان هم اومد و معمولا هر سال قسمت مصاحبه آقای چوپان خیلی جالبه و پیشنهاد میکنم امسال مصاحبهشون رو ببینید، مطمئنم حرفای خوبی برای گفتن دارن. قهرمانای دسته اوپن رو میبینیم که قسمت وسط نشستن. برندون کوری، سامسون دائودا، هادی چوپان. میچواکر منتها غایب، امسال ظاهرا آماده نشده، نتونست شرکت کنه. پارسال قبل از مستر المپیا یه آسیبی دید، امسال هم نتونسته بدنش آماده کنه. خب یکی از مدعیای سرسخت دسته اوپن آقای درک لانفسورد. کوری خونیشون از همین الان شروع شد.
Right about there, sir. Right about there.
Taking up all the space. So, the ladies were, first of all, congratulations, gentlemen, on being here. This is a major, so congratulations on that. The ladies were out here a little while ago, and there was some debate over who was the future and who was the present. Who was the present, who was the future. So up on this stage, who's the present and the future?
Let's start with the champ himself, Derek Lunsford. You are the president. You are the current reigning, defending Olympia champion. Are you all future two-time Olympia champion?
The stage last year, 2023, comeback improved. So yeah, you best believe that this is just the beginning, and I'm working to improve every single year for as long as I can be up here.
Specific about it. You're dominant from the back. You have amazing back double biceps, back lat spread, but you're not beating Hadi on abdominals and thighs and most muscular. What have you done from last year's Olympia to beat him on those two poses?
Well, when we go back to my track record with خوانی Rambod back in 2021, we won the 212. Each year we've made significant improvements. I've been able to, work well with him, and we've been able to improve my physique. So I don't think there's really anything different that I needed to do in terms of drastic change Obviously, put emphasis on the body parts and areas where I needed to improve more. But honestly, I wanted to improve my strengths too. I wanted to create distance in my strengths and also bring my other body parts and poses. So, like I said, ever since I got off stage last year, I've been putting in the work and I'm coming back improved. I can promise you that.
Sugar Sean Ray. We got about 600 pounds of muscle right in the middle of the stage right there. Is this the year of the big man?
Yeah, half of that is occupied by the man in the center, Big Samson from England, representing Nigeria. Looked like you were on a tour when you first arrived here in Las Vegas, so the buzz is you've been distracted. And there's a whole lot of business in front of you, especially with Andrew Jack leaning up against you and Derek and Big Hottie. Is this the year that you bring it all together on Saturday night?
All right, first and foremost, I want to say, man, thank you all for being out here, man. You guys are all right. I keep improving faster than anybody else on this stage. And you all have seen that firsthand, right? Right? So how do you expect me not to be just come up on stage and show you guys again tomorrow?
Well, wait. While you say that, you did some changes getting ready for this year that you didn't do in the past. You can't ignore some of those changes. Were they positive?
Of course they are. But you know what you saw me 2 weeks ago in France? Well, you're about to see something such tomorrow night as well.
Samson, the word we keep hearing is conditioning, and I know you've heard this all year long, all on social media, all from the experts that are out there. Samson's got it all. Shape, symmetry, proportion, muscularity, posing presentation. He's just got to get the conditioning. What changes have you made this year to bring that conditioning into that 95 percentile that, well, in a lot of experts' opinions, would give you that standout title?
Well, for one thing, you see my face, right? Does this look like a face of someone who hasn't suffered this past?
A pretty face, bro. You're very handsome.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
But you know what? One way I'm going to say is, man, we're going to find out tomorrow night.
Fuad Abiad.
Questions for Derek. I'm looking at the stage, and I see two guys to the left of you who are much, much bigger. I just want to know if they're in shape. How do you plan on repeating from last year?
Bodybuilding is you versus you. I think you know that as well as anybody, right? So we're all given gifts and genetics our own, and I believe that we really what we got, you know. So for me, I've been able to, like I said earlier, play with my strengths and also improve everything, you know. And so this is a journey over time where you're never going to be perfect, but you're striving to be all that you can be. And so even being the current champion, I want to continue to improve and be all that I can be. And I know even last year, I can continue to do that for years and years. I don't worry about what the competitors are doing, but I actually appreciate the competitors that I have because I love how driven that they are, how hungry they are, how passionate they are about the same thing I am, and I want to be my best, and I'm trying to be my best every year, and these guys continue to help elevate me and hold me accountable. So I don't just look at it as competition like this, like I want to beat you, I want to beat you, I got to defend. It's that, hey, I'm happy you guys are making progress because it holds me accountable for me to make progress, and then everybody wins. Everybody gets what they want. They get a great show, and may the best man win.
Okay, I'm sorry, Bob. I love the diplomatic answer. It's the right way to say it.
No, that's what I really. That's how
I believe you. I believe you, but I want to get more specific. What attributes do you bring that are going to beat these guys? Or Brandon Center looking pretty large, and you got a Mr. Olympia to the left of you. What attributes do you have that are going to make sure that you beat?
I think Ronnie Coleman said it best. Time Mr. Olympia champion, lights out from the back, baby.
Eric from the back, and the side's about even. Where did you have it last year, and what do you think is going to happen this year?
Well, I'm going to be honest. Last year, pre-Olympia prediction, I predicted Derek to win. And after the Olympia, I said it was close. I thought I had Hadi winning by just slightly little bit. And this is because Derek is unbeatable from the back. We know that. Hadi was unbeatable from the front. But now, we saw Hadi come to the Arnold this year, where I think that this was the best Hadi that I've ever seen. Combination in condition and size. Now, a Hadi like at the Arnold, Derek, is that something you can beat?
Well, I think Connie Rambod, who we both work with, said that, you know, Hadi did look great at the Arnold. We have to give it to these guys when they come in and they giving it their all and they look outstanding. You know, I love it when my competitors get praise just as much as we get the praise. But he also said, wait till you see the 2020 version of Derek Lunsford.
We've been saying that Derek is still young, still training, so you can still make changes. I'm saying so long. A lot of people think this is not happening. You know what I'm saying? So, because I think you would have to make those changes. You would have to bring a better front, more detailed, more matured in order to stand next to Hadi like from Arnold. But now, keep in mind, we have two guys right here, the Samason and Andrew. Andrew, from what I heard, and this is just, I haven't seen him, I haven't spoken to him, I just heard from someone real close that this is the best Andrew ever. Andrew is winning the Olympia. So that's a scary thought, because Andrew is in a lot of expert eyes probably the most perfect physique with Samason when it comes to the height, size, and everything. And I know it's harder for shorter guys at that point to stand next to him. So I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. This is a competition, but all be nice. It's not going to win you a Sandler Trophy. So you gotta, you gotta fight. What I'm saying is, you gotta be the dirtiest Derek in order to, to hold these guys off.
I don't think I need to be the dirtiest Derek on the mic with my words. I think I need to be the hardest worker in the gym. That's what I've been doing since 2022.
Well, hang on a second now, D. Hang on. I want to hear from Hadi Choopan. Hadi, did you feel that you won the show last year, that you beat Derek for that Sandow last year?
خب امثال هادی چوپان مثل یک کبیر میمونه. هر کسی میخواد داخل این کبیر قرار بگیره باید خیلی خوش بیاد و خیلی به خشکی عادت باشه وگرنه بد میفته.
So Hadi gonna come like a dry desert this year, and everyone who wants to survive in the desert has to be dry enough.
Hadi.
Otherwise, they will burn.
Hadi, this question's for you. Hadi, it's for you. Last year, you looked like you thought you won the contest, and the way you left the stage looked like you didn't accept the result. What happened?
هیچ که همچین فکری رو نمیکرد، چون اینجا مثل المپیا هست، باید یک بدن سه‌بعدی باشه. من همیشه بهترین خودم بودم، بهترین خودم اومدم و جزو بدنسازانی بودم که همیشه بهترین خودم آوردم و فکر نمیکردم پارتر اون نتیجه رو بگیرم، ولی امسال جوری اومدم که هیچ کس نتونه نزدیکم بشه.
Said last year I never thought like that, but I always try to come with my best condition, best separation, best of my version, and also last year same. I came with my best and I did my best, and I didn't win it, but this year I will try my best to win.
But you walked off the stage. That happens again. Will that be the same routine?
میگه ولی تو از استیج اومدی پایین وقتی باختی.
خب شاید تو خودت خیلی قهرمانی ها رو داری، میدونی که یک کسی زمانی که قهرمان شه از دست بده چه حس حالی داره، اونم زمانی که نه قند تو بدنته، نه نمک داری، نه آب داری، کنترلش خیلی سخته. من پارسال اون حس عجیبی که بهم دست دادم به درک تبریک گفتم، درک رو بغل کردم، بعد اونجور استرس تو بدنم بود، عصبانیت، نتونستم خودمو کنترل بکنم.
So you have been competed many times, Sean Ray, so you know when is on the stage, when you're with low level of the sugar and with low energy, and you sometimes maybe you cannot make a best decision. And he said, so at the beginning, I just congrats Derek, stay there. I did my photo shoot. And after that, I felt a little bit not in good health to stay on the stage, so that's why I walked away. But before I walk away, I just congrats everyone, took my picture before I leave.
All right, Linda Murray. You know physiques, be them female or male. Bodybuilding is bodybuilding.
That's right. Because on this panel, I've won the Olympia, right? And Derek, like, let me say, I was so impressed when I saw you go from the 212. And knowing men, you guys, it's like being big. And my first thought was, will you be able to go from 212 and go into the open and bring the size and bring that conditioning? And you did it. You did it. So I was very impressed with that.
Thank you.
Very impressed with that. And I think number two, for me, my question, knowing, winning that Olympia, what is the challenge for me is defending. Your life has changed. You have to listen to the noise and the conversation and them saying, you know, Samson's going to do it, Andrew Jack, you know what I mean? You have a new baby.
Yeah, she's out in the crowd, actually. Where's my wife?
Yes. So how do you? Because that, to me, when you've done it one time and you proved what you did in 212 and you moved into the open and you did what you did, like big and all that, that's all beautiful. The conversation, I'm glad you guys brought that up.
Yeah.
But you won it. You're the champion.
حتما
Defending it. How do you? How did you stay focused with the noise, with the extra? Can you guest pose for me? Can you come over to my house? Can you kiss my baby? All that. That's my question.
Well, that's going to be about an hour's worth of an answer if I'm, you know, short and sweet. I saw the people that came before me first and foremost. So I always respected the champions that came before me, and I saw some of the things that they had to deal with. And I thought, you know, like, sometimes they didn't deserve the criticism that they were getting, and still to this day. And so I saw that, and I thought to myself, if I ever want to be the guy at the top, right, there's going to be a lot of love and there's going to be a lot of criticism, and you better be prepared for both, and it's not always going to come at the same time or when you want it to. And I said this the other day, you know, everybody up here and everybody in their right mind would want to be a champion, but leadership is a responsibility, and I think it's something that people don't think about all the time, wanting to be the champion, the person at the top, because when the spotlight's on you, it ain't coming off. It's only getting brighter and stronger. So you could take that as an opportunity to do something good and be a good role model, or you can, you know, crumble under the negative pressure. So for me, the selfishness of wanting to be Mr. Olympia and be the champion like we all want to, right, in bodybuilding is great, but also knowing this is a platform that I can build camaraderie and spread a positive message to is something that really drives me. And winning Olympia actually took the pressure off of me of, is it ever going to happen? And will I ever be Mr. Olympia? Will I ever make history being the first two-division champion? So once that happened, I felt like I could really come into my own, and having the support of my wife, my daughter, my friends, my family, my training partners, Coach Rambod, and sponsors, everyone, and the fan support. I just feel so loved, and I feel so grateful and blessed. How can I not go in the gym and give it my all every single day, doing what I love, even if it is, you know, the epitome of discipline. There's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of really hard days where I go to my wife and I say, hey, but this is hard. Like, this is getting really, really hard. And she's like, you got this. I don't know if anybody can do it, it's you. I know you. You got this. We all got you. God's got you. So, like I said, this could be a long-winded answer, but all in all, like I said, being the champion is one thing, being a leader is another, and it's a high responsibility that I said before. One, I accept it all, the good, the bad, the everything, and praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Great performance in Texas, possibly one of the most impressive performances this year. You've gained the size. You're becoming, filled up. Where are you going to end up this Mr. Olympia? Are you going to the top 3? Can you be Mr. Olympia in 2024?
There will be some hard breaks this weekend. That's what I know for sure.
Brandon, not a lot of people talking about the 2019 Mr. Olympia. A lot of people predicting, they're not mentioning Brandon Curry. Are we at the end of Brandon Curry's career, or is Brandon Curry, a healthy Brandon Curry, about to shock the world?
Well, part of being quiet, off the radar, is what kind of brings the shock factor. So I went with that so I could bring that shock factor on tomorrow. So I think we're coming in with a good physique, feel pretty confident, and I'm healthy. So I'm ready to rumble, for sure.
Well, Brandon, congratulations on getting yourself back here. Obviously qualified for life as a former Mr. Olympia. But last year was a whole different story. You weren't here at the press conference. You were at the hospital battling issues. Thank God everything turned out great, and you still ended up with an impressive finish. So, you looked absolutely phenomenal last year, near your best, but still an impressive finish. What was a 100% Brandon Curry capable of doing here against not only 2 other Olympia winners, but the entire Olympia lineup?
100% is always capable of taking the championship. Where we fall tomorrow, that's up to fate. We'll see what happens. But I'm coming here well prepared. Got a new coaching strategy. We changed some things, and we think it worked in my favor. I feel very healthy, feel very good. It's just a part of just refining. Right now, pretty much all the work is done. Just got to relax and do my job tomorrow. So I'm very confident going in. I think this will be a very, very good package, and hopefully I can surprise a lot of you guys and get you excited about what I'm bringing to the stage tomorrow.
Fuad.
Yeah, it's questions for Andrew because he's a man of a few words. See if I can get a few more out of you. So, don't get me like that. All right, so you're going to shock some people this weekend, but what changes have you made? Because Texas was a beautiful physique, but there are some areas where the other guys are a little bit ahead of you in the side and the back. So you're posing. Did you improve those things? Did you work a lot on your posing? What has changed since Texas?
Everything's changed since Texas. Texas was a warm-up, so now we're bringing in the real version. That's why I said this weekend I'll break so many hearts. So let's see.
Well, let me follow up on that. So let's give a percentage because it gives people perspective on where you were. You made great improvements this year. Your time in the gym was well suited to you, and what we saw in Texas was very formidable. What percentage do you think you were in Texas? 90%, 95%, and are you 100% at this year's Olympia?
I don't rate myself. I let my team Chris do the ratings because.
Well, how close to 100% would you say you were in Texas?
No, I don't know. I'm just a passenger on the seat. They're the captain, so they drive. I just follow.
So you weren't even close to Texas to what we're going to see this weekend.
I've got no idea what they have in mind. Mine is just sit back, follow instructions, and boom. Yeah. So definitely, we're confident going to this weekend, and it will be funny.
Bob, I got a question for the 212.
I like that. Go ahead, Sugar Sean.
I got a question for the 212. Although this Olympia representation right here, this is my 36th Mr. Olympia, and that gold title is up for grabs. I don't think anybody has an advantage at this moment, and that makes for a very competitive Mr. Olympia coming up. I don't think anybody. Derek, last year you showed us your best. Andrew and Brandon, you got off the hospital bed. And Samson's nothing short of amazing. I know you're pissed, Hadi. I can tell you got revenge on your mind. So that trophy is up for grabs. But the 212, that's really where it's at. The Giant Killer and the Prodigy, the rematch. I got pictures of both of you guys that you sent me, and you are absolutely at the best in the top of your game right now. Who's got the inside track? If you're at your very best, Sean, can you beat what he's been showing us online? Keon?
I've won 2 titles already. So why can't I win a third?
Keon, you've won one. This is the guy you got to go through to defend the title. What did you do differently to hang on to it?
Just like what Derek said, as soon as we, after the last show, I went back to work. My mindset this year was, okay, last year was Chupon to get the title. Now it's like, what's the next goal? So for me and my fiance and the coach, we came with a game plan is I never won the title. That's how I trained this whole entire year. Went straight to work, 100% on my rebound diet, 100% off-season plan, killed the cardio, killed the abs, everything to my perfection, and just control what I could control. So, and like I say, at my 100%, nobody can beat me.
All right, Sean Clarita. You were quick to take responsibility last year when you lost the title to Keon, which I appreciate because you don't get that a lot these days. Everybody's got some excuses. The excuse book seems to fly wide open. You do that. You took immediate responsibility. I asked straight out, what did you think? You said, I made a mistake. I came in a little bit this year. I thought that was a mistake, and I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. You watch next year. Where are you in comparison in your weight from last year to this year?
I won my first Olympia at 177. My second at 178. This morning, my coach, Matt Jansen, and I woke up at 175. So that tells you enough.
Keon has to incentivize you to get back to that 100% because what he has is spectacular. You talk about apples and oranges. You always use that analogy in bodybuilding, two different types of physiques. You guys have two types of physiques. You've never been the biggest guy in the class. It's you're the giant killer. Keon, exceptional physique, beautiful symmetry, lines, proportion, and all that. I can't help it that you guys kind of help each other out in terms of motivation. Keon, what you got to do to hang on to that title? And are you going to be better than last year? Because you were close to 100%.
I stand to my percent because that was my all-time best so far. But this year will be 100% again. Last year I was 199. This year, today I was 205 with way harder condition and just more dense. So like I said, we had the perfect off-season, and you guys are going to see that Friday tomorrow morning.
DJ, we've got a panel of greats up here, obviously, but the Classics division has taken the bodybuilding world by storm, especially with our current reigning five-time champ, Chris Bumstead.
Well, yeah, I look at the top three from last year's Olympia, and I'm looking at a two-time Arnold Classic champion from this year. Now I see Wesley sitting right next to Chris. Are we seeing something here? Does it mean anything that Chris is sitting right next to Wesley? And, because Ramon was second last year and Urs was third. And Wesley, you basically, I think you were seventh or eighth last year. Please don't be mad if I'm wrong, but you were the top five. You came to the Arnold. It was a total revamped physique. I mean, we always see you're always in great shape, but you put size on that tall frame of yours and stood there and beat Ramon and Urs both to be one of their favorites, even in the experts' eyes, contender to beat Chris, because we all say, I'm a similar height. The only one could beat Chris is supposed to be someone with a similar height. How do you feel going into your Olympia knowing that a lot of people think that you might have what it takes, and you yourself said that you will beat Chris Bumstead this year?
Well, what I said is I'm going to give him the toughest battle he's had since doing the Olympia so far, and that's what I intend to do. So the most important thing is that it also brought confidence to myself, winning the Arnold Classic not once but twice in a row, beating a lot of competitors who beat me year after year after year at the Olympia, which means I've made a lot of progress, which doesn't mean that everybody was off all of a sudden at the Arnold, but that I was getting better. And I've made the same kind of improvement from the Arnold now to the Olympia that I made from the Olympia to the Arnold, about the same time in between, now actually even longer. So it's going to be a very nice, interesting, fierce battle on the Olympia stage, and I can't wait to do it because it just feels different. I know now for sure that my placing at the Olympia last time is not going to be representative of what's going to be shown on the stage this year. So it's going to be awesome.
Chris, I have a question. Sorry, Bob. Chris Bumstead, 5-time Olympia champion. You've been dominant. Last year, Ramon really brought a great physique, especially from the back. People thought that arguably he beat you on the back double biceps. There's this guy, Wesley Vissers, just won the Arnold, looked incredible. said he's bringing his best. Are you threatened by these guys, or are they still fighting for second?
I think you know the answer to that. Every year it's been someone different. It's been Breon, it's been Terrence, it's been Erz, it's been Ramon, it's been Wesley. And in my mind, they're still all battling for second. I would never be so disrespectful as to say that's not a challenge. You know, being on stage here, period, all of us getting up here is a challenge. Is it a threat? Absolutely not. But it's always a challenge getting up here, being the best version of myself, and it's an honor to share the stage with all these people. I met Wesley back in 2018, I think, after one of the Olympias, and I remember his kindness and humility then. He's risen a lot in the sport, and it hasn't changed. I'm grateful to be competing against these guys, and we're just up here having fun.
Well, Chris, while you're having fun on the stage...
Since, same with all the guys that I get to share the stage with up here. I'm grateful to be competing against these guys, and we're just up here having fun.
Well, Chris, while you're having fun on the stage this weekend, a lot of speculation out there. The rumor mill is swirling, of course, and everybody thought you were going to make the big, huge announcement just a month ago. And I got to give you credit, man. You just pulled the tablecloth right out from all those dishes on the table when you announced that you had a nice business with Jim Shark that you've gotten involved in, so congratulations for that. But the world was ablaze with talk that if you win this Olympia, that possibly this could be your last Olympia, that you might be moving on, that you would call it a day as the winner, as a six-time champ. You've got a brand new family. You've got new business ventures. If you win this title this weekend, is that it?
It's funny because since, I think, 2020, I've been telling people when they ask me how many I got left in me, I've been saying one more. And every single year I've just been focusing on the one ahead of me, being the best I can, showing up for one more. You know, I won last year. I got to put in the work to win again this year and earn it this year. And that's all I'm focusing on. You know, every year I've had a challenge, an obstacle that's overcome, that I've been able to overcome, and it's shown me what I'm capable of. And every year I've gotten better. I continue to get better. I continue to enjoy it. And I don't think much further than this Saturday, to be completely honest. So I'm just enjoying it. I know I got more in me if I want it, but I can make that decision whenever I feel ready.
Urs. Question for Urs. Urs, this early season this year didn't go as planned, I would say. You looked great, but it wasn't the outcome that you were looking for. Now, knowing you have to come back and fight your way back to get into the top three, basically, what changed? What Urs can we expect tomorrow morning? Is it tomorrow morning or Saturday morning, pre-judging? Saturday morning.
I mean, the little setback I had at the Arnold's made the bear definitely hungrier than ever before. And I set the fire up for it and worked so hard together with the great Stefan Kienzel, my coach, for over 5 years now. And we really found out what works the best. And as it is in our sport we all love, the time is a thing we need to have in our mind. And I started my journey pretty young with 20 years old, did my Olympia at 21 the first time, and had to build the density. And I think with the age, not only my hair switched, also the density of my body, and that's what you guys can expect on Saturday on the Olympia stage. So a complete package, front to back. I was always well known for my lower body development and quality, and now I can say it's finally also, especially from the backside, it is there.
So where do you see yourself placing?
Definitely better than last time.
Better than early this year or last year?
Better than last year, Olympia.
So there's only top two?
That's it, yes.
Well, one of those guys you got to get by is right next to you, and that, of course, is Ramon Dino. Ramon, I got to thank you first and foremost for your fan base out of Brazil. Without them, I would not have 10,000 dinosaurs sent to my Instagram account every single day. I get it. I like Ramon. He's a great guy. Stop sending me dinosaurs. But you've got a great fan base. You and Urs and Chris, Wesley's the new guy here, have been battling for years. You have yet to get past Chris. What changes do you need to make to get that title from Chris Bumstead?
We work in all points, you know. My glutes, my hamstrings, bro. This year, I told you last year, remember? This year, bro. You. Over for you, bro. Yeah. Don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro.
First of all, give this guy a big hand. He learned some English. That's amazing. Wow.
Thanks so much, bro. I'm trying. Every year I try. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much for this show. This is my bro.
All right, well, Chris, do you hear big dinosaur footprints coming up behind you? Or is the challenge from the new guy? Because these guys you've beaten lots of times with all due respect, right? But you've had good competition. But like you said, they were fighting for a second. But Wesley shows something different. He's literally a throwback to the classic days. You get a lot of comparisons, of course, with Arnold and your physique and the way you display your physique with your poses. Is he a bigger threat than anybody else this time to your title?
Like I said before, I truly don't believe anyone is a threat right now. You know, I hear them all saying I'm going to win, but when I look them all in the eye, I don't believe they believe themselves when they say that. So I'm not going to believe it myself.
Chris, hang on.
You don't need to believe me, bro. You don't need to believe me. Believe in your work. I have my work every day. You know?
Chris,
Don't worry.
Is it true that you've offered, if any of these guys beat you, that you've offered a full Gymshark contract to whoever can beat you?
They can have whatever the hell they want.
Ramon, I have a question for you. You are a great symbol in Brazil. If you win this thing, you'll make history, and millions of Brazilians watching the pay-per-view dream of that moment. What is your message to all the Brazilian fans today?
Thank you so much for everybody for prayers, right? Praise for me. Thank you, God. Thank you, my wife is here, my team. We're working for this year. God is have planning for we. I love you, baby.
Linda Murray. Linda, nobody knows better than you how hard it is to hang on to a title, reclaim a title, give yourself 8, and one of the greatest of all time in a lot of people's minds. One of those gentlemen is on this stage right to my left, and that, of course, is Harold King Kong Kelly in our wheelchair division. He's been a multi-time champ. Would you have 5, 6 championships? I've lost track.
I think.
For the Olympia.
7? Have you won 7? 5?
5-time champ. But he lost the title this past year.
Yes, to
He's
Carol.
been trying to get himself back. To Carol right next to him. It's got to be difficult, but you're the perfect person to give the advices to. What does Harold have to do to get back on track to that winning form that earned him 5 Olympia titles?
Just for sure, staying present, one day at a time. You know what it takes. You get 5, you know. He knows what it takes. Tell me what does it take? What are you doing?
Okay, I'm sorry. Before I begin, I want to say give thanks to God for allowing me to be here, and also having a solid team like my wife and a team that helped me since day one, since 2010 when we first won the first NPC that transferred to pro class wheelchair. So we've been in the trenches for a while. You know, this class been building this momentum, like I said, since 2010, 2011 when we started, and over the course of 22 wins and 5 Olympias and 6 Arnolds. So we learned a lot. We taught ourselves a lot. In every competition, we studied ourselves and just learning the body all over again. And you know, a good competitor came in, Carol, took the competition, took the win last year, and it just, you know, reset myself all over again. And I also lost an honor through Gabriel, and again reset, came back and I won. So it just, when you win a lot, you really have to stay focused. It's really hard to stay focused when you're winning a lot. You really have to stay in your zone where you need to be in a wheelchair class. And it's a little different in our class. As we doing this in compared to the rest of the guy classes, you know. My dad said if it's not paying bills, it's a hobby. So to us, it's kind of like a hobby because it's not paying no bills. We have to pay everything, even with the wins. So it's hard to do that, and you know, I have a family, got to raise the family, got to pay the bills and everything like that. So it's not paying our bills. We here because it's something from passion, from our heart, financially wise. So you have to make a decision. How much are you investing over here and are you investing over here in regards to get yourself where you need to be?
Yes. Well, you're the face. I consider you to be the face of wheelchair bodybuilding. Do you feel, even despite the loss, do you feel a responsibility for this division? I know Nick works really hard to get you guys on this stage. And so there are other athletes out there that look up to you. Do you feel a responsibility to continue on? Is it really about the title every time?
You're right, and you're right. I do take that challenge as being the face. I feel that God placed that on me, and I felt that was a blessing for me. Therefore, I have to manage it in the best sense. And I am 53 years old. So everybody talk about the age, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm 53. I won 22 in 2022. I was the oldest handed Mr. Olympia title when no one says this, but I do feel that. Therefore, I get myself back in the condition, get myself back in that saddle again to be that face. And always come to win and always ask the judges what I need to do to better myself. Since day one, I won the first one. I asked Steve what I need to do to better myself the next time. And he told me even the last show when I lost, he told me, you know, what to look for. And I said, okay, we're going to do that and we're going to make some changes and we'll be back next year.
Okay.
Carol, you are the reigning Olympia champion. You beat the great Harold King Kong Kelly last year. In your preparations, has it been harder challenging for the title or defending the title?
W sumie jest to samo. Tak samo, na tym samym poziomie ćwiczyłem, cały czas robię to samo, po prostu tylko, żeby poprawić samego siebie, żeby być z roku na rok lepszym.
Every year, every preparation is at the same level. Always is I give all me 100%.
Does he feel more stress being the champion and defending the title?
Czy bardziej stresowałeś się w zeszłym roku, czy teraz, jeżeli jesteś obrońcą?
W zeszłym roku dużo bardziej.
Last year, this year I am more self-confident.
Can he beat Harold again? 2 in a row?
Czy wygrasz z Haroldem? Mam nadzieję, po to przyjechałem.
With all of respect for Harold, I am bigger, I have better condition, I am more self-confident and I am here to win.
Z całym szacunkiem do Harolda. Z całym szacunkiem.
With all of respect.
Folks, give these wheelchair Olympians a big hand. There's enough stuff to overcome when it comes to bodybuilding and getting on stage. And these guys just blow that right out of the water every year. Congratulations. John Romano.
I'd like to ask Brandon a follow-up question. I was really impressed last year that you were in the hospital and you walked out of the hospital onto the Olympia stage. And you had to have passed a mirror between the hospital bed and the stage. And I know you looked in that mirror and said to yourself, I'm not 100%, right? Why didn't you drop out? Why did you come back and take the L?
Because, life is about the experiences. We're going to always go through different trials, different tribulations. And I figured if I could make it to the stage, it would be some benefit for me, psychologically, emotionally, for other people as well. And it really made an impact. It was one of my favorite Olympias, coming and seeing the support, the people that cared, just the amount of respect. So it was a very good experience. Even though I knew I wasn't 100%, I knew I was good enough to be on stage. And I just wanted to see where that landed me. I journeyed so far. I put in so much work. And if I didn't hit the stage, I would be what ifs, very disappointed and not really fulfilled. So I just feel like I just had to. If I was given the opportunity, I had to. I had to for my family, the time I spent away. I had to for everybody that supported me. As long as I was healthy enough to get on that stage, I really wasn't going to let anything stop me as long as I had permission. So it was really a fulfilling experience. I really appreciated it and made it a very memorable Olympia. It was a win in my department, even though it was not necessarily a win of the title. It was a win for me mentally and physically and emotionally.
Brian Terry. Just like that. Time's up. 1 year went real quick, right, Aaron Banks? It goes fast, and when you're chasing the title, it goes even faster.
I would know. I've been doing it 10 years on this stage.
Yeah. With the title, is the crown a little bit heavier? Did you run into some obstacles trying to defend the title this year?
Yeah, I must admit, it was a very different year this year. Obviously, this is my 10th Olympia, and every other Olympia, I've always been the underdog, working in the silence, never really had the limelight on me, and that's always worked in my favour. I've always liked to be the guy working in the shadows. So this year, winning it, obviously going to the Arnold in Ohio, realising I had a massive target on my back now, things had to change and my mindset had to change, and I had to start thinking like a champion and start embracing it, and that's exactly what I did. So this year has gone extremely fast. I can't believe we're saying a year later we're here now, but I'm more determined than ever. And if I'm honest, I was actually worried about that. Would I still have that same drive? Because 10 years trying to get the title, to then win it, would I still have that same drive to go back for it? And I can't believe I feel like I'm a young athlete again, starting all over again, because, this year has been phenomenal. The training, just the mindset, the focus, and I cannot wait for Saturday to get back up there.
Yeah. Aaron, how about you chasing to recapture the title? How's that journey been?
It's been amazing, just coming off of the Dubai Pro win and doing that and just getting the feedback from the judges from, hey, just bring the conditioning. We love the improvements that you've done so far. So, chasing it, it's been a good journey so far. The body's doing what it's doing and the improvements are there.
Aaron, you do realize you can't bring the scooter on stage when you're tomorrow, right?
Why not? I wish I could, to be honest.
Fuad, let me ask you something. They say bodybuilding is one from the back. Is men's physique one from the front? Because what I saw last year was Ryan Terry come out there, and he hit that front straight-on Superman pose, and it seemed like it was lights out.
If I had to say, I would say the front shots are probably more of the score than the back. But I don't know. They only do two poses, so it's kind of equal.
50-50, right?
Yeah. I got a question, though. Andrew and Samson, who battled with Nick at the Arnold. Sitting up there, Hadi was a Mr. Olympia. Derek was a Mr. Olympia. I got Andrew and Samson, who battled with Nick at the Arnold. Now, Nick isn't here. And last year, he missed the show, and people were like, well, Nick could have won if he was there. I want to know from Andrew and Samson, does it upset you to not be able to compete against him this year and kind of prove if you're better or he's better?
So, first and foremost, I want to say, obviously, I wish Nick all the best in his recovery of whatever he's going through right now. I mean, most of you know me and Nick, we've been friends for a long time. And you know what, I was disappointed that he wasn't here last year. And I was excited about going on stage with him again this year. But unfortunately, things have happened for the way they do. So for me, I am disappointed that he's not here this year. But at the same time, I know, he's going to be back on stage in no time. I know Nick very well, man. He doesn't let anything stop him if it's not important.
Samson, I just have a follow-up real quick. The two guys to your left are former Mr. Olympias. Why do you deserve to beat them? Why do you deserve to be Mr. Olympia?
All right, so we've sat all here and we've heard everybody speak about I'm going to weigh this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to improve this, and my ass is tired standing here, honestly. Just tired sitting here. So I want to say this, man. I've never been a man for talking. It just doesn't work for me. I'm always a man of actions. So I stand up here and I say, man, if any man thinks I deserve it of that, step up front with me right now.
Come on.
All right, now we're talking.
Andrew.
Here we go.
Andrew, look at him. Look up.
That's a big man.
Come on.
Sean Clarita, don't let him get away with that.
Keon.
Sean, get out there. We got any challengers here? Anybody? He's calling you guys out. Nobody wants a piece of Samson. Look at this. Yeah, buddy. Andrew. He looks pretty good.
And that's why I deserve to be Mr. Olympia.
What do you think of that, Andrew? Top 3, top 5? Where you got him? Samson. Where do you got Samson? You just saw him. You saw what you're going to be up against.
Yeah, I did.
Where do you got him?
Yeah. He's my brother. He's representing, so yeah.
He's looking good.
Yeah, and listen.
Let me ask you something. Sean Ray, let me ask you. We talked about this on an episode of the Voice of Bodybuilding podcast. Cheap insert right there. Can these guys pair off? Is it all about comparison when it comes to bodybuilding? Can the Nigerian night train come in here and run roughshod over Derek and Hadi, being smaller, stature, obviously very big guys, but clearly there's a difference here between these guys. Do bodybuilders help each other out on an Olympia stage comparisons?
I got to tell you, what we just saw was very impressive, but he's by himself. We're going to have to figure out what happens on Saturday night, because Friday night is the precursor, but we saw what Phil Heath used to do. They called him Mr. Saturday Night. He would change, and he would hold on to that title for 7 years. The interesting thing about the Olympia over the years is that we've seen it go up and down and up and down, and it's not lost that Derek and Hadi were once 212 Olympia champions. The question would be over here on my right, that if you hold off Sean again for the second consecutive year, will you take a page out of Derek and Hadi Chupin and jump into the open class?
Once again, like I tell people, I'm just taking it 1 year and one Olympia at a time. I'm not even thinking about open. I'm only thinking about 212, which is tomorrow, and that's all I care about at this point. Open will come later when it's time, but I think that's the problem now with bodybuilding. A lot of people like to rush. People let social media rush them. I'm not that person, so you guys don't waste your time asking about open right now. I'm just worrying about tomorrow so I can win title number 2.
Let me ask a question to Chris Bumstead. Chris, you said before you retire you might throw your hat into an open competition. You just saw Samson out. You still want to go there?
I'm certainly not discouraged, so maybe next year. We'll never know.
We'll find a challenger for him. Yeah, Fuad. Was that it? Great minds thinking alike, my friend. All right, let's get to the lightning around here. Linda Murray, final question to any one of our Olympians.
Let's see. Chris Bumstead. So every year, you're such a great storyteller. Every year you have a challenge. And you mentioned challenge this year. Did you experience anything this year? I know you have a new baby. Such a great storyteller.
Honestly, what I mentioned was that this was one of the years where it felt like everything kind of came together. And it was beautiful that it was the year I got to share it with my baby and my wife. And if I've learned anything over the few years, it's how to overcome a challenge. And then this year it's been a whole new load of lessons of what's truly important to me. And if I've learned something from having a child, it's taken the pressure off what I do up on stage, because when I go home to my wife and to that baby smiling, nothing else matters. There's no reason to feel like anything else is a challenge, because it's the greatest blessing, the greatest victory I've ever had in my entire life. My family is everything to me right now, and it's allowed me to just enjoy and be present with bodybuilding, because that's what's truly important. So
Excellent.
It's been a beautiful year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Derek Elgindi, final question to any one of our Olympians.
First, congratulations to Michael and him. I want to get one of these bags, so that's one of my questions. Great job with the bags. Congratulations, Wolfpack. Derek Lunsford. Chris Bumstead said, my favorite Olympia title was my second one. After I won my first title, there was a lot of questions about Breon Ansley and this and that. My second one was closing the door. This is my time. Is that where your mind is right now? Do you want to close the door and say, you know what? I'm Mr. Olympia. I'm going to win again, and there will be no more questions when I'm done?
Absolutely. To be quite honest, if I'm going to shoot you straight, that's why I said after last year's Olympia win, we made history, and it was the best package that I brought to date. But I knew where I could improve, and I felt that I had a lot that I could prove in even just 1 year. So I got right back to work, and with the motivation and support of my wife and daughter and everyone in my corner, it's been 365 days of busting it. Not a lot of times, actually Chris asked me this yesterday, is it a motivation to prove like the haters wrong, like the criticism? No, it's just to be all that I can be. And this year I wanted to come back and create some distance, to be quite honest. Yes.
Sugar Sean Ray.
Soul Brother number 1, Brandon Curry. I believe you're the oldest on this stage. That happened quick, overnight. You got 4 kids. You're fighting to get back in the winner's circle. Could this be the swan song? If you don't wind up winning that trophy, would this be the last time?
I'm a live today kind of guy, so I'm not really looking ahead past tomorrow being on stage. How things play out, how things go, determines the future. You got to make wise decisions, calculated decisions, and right now, I gotta join the rodeo first. So I got to ride this horse, or this bull, and see what happens. So I'm not thinking beyond that. I'm just trying to bring my best to the stage. No unnecessary pressure on myself at this point.
John Romano, final question, sir.
This is for the reigning Mr. Olympias. I mean, the current, not the current, but all the Mr. Olympias. The Sandow Trophy, the Mr. Olympia title, is in company with just the NFL and the NBA for having been around for 60 years and having an uninterrupted year after year after year championship. It's only the NBA and the NFL and the Mr. Olympia. Does that 6-0 mean, how much more does that 6-0 mean? The trophy's gold, you're going to maybe make a re-win, a win, a comeback. What does that 60 mean on top of all of that accomplishment?
Yeah, this is a monumental year. The 60th Olympia. There's only been 18 Mr. Olympias ever in the history of bodybuilding. And looking at it right now, it looks pretty. I have one that doesn't look like that and doesn't have my name on it. This year, I want golden with my name on it.
All right.
Your name is actually on it. Yeah, I mean, you guys are all nice and buddy to each other, so I can't ask the question that I really want to ask. But I got a question for Chris. Chris, let's say you would watch the show tomorrow from the front row, not on stage, but you would watch these guys sitting next to you compete. Who do you think would win?
دوستان شما هم نظراتتون
Yeah, I mean, honest, who do you believe would win this show tomorrow if you wouldn't compete?
Honestly,
yes.
I can't answer that, and I think that's why I love Classic Physique so much. It's such a tight race. All the competitors are so incredible. I know they're showing up and doing their best, I know each of them on a level enough to watch them on their journey throughout the year to know that they're all showing up this year at their best. They're coming for my throat, they're coming for each other's throat, and it's going to be a hell of a show, and we're going to see on Saturday. But I have no guess.
Well, Bob, I guess that's the perfect answer because I tried to find out who his biggest competition is out of the guys, but he was...
Chris is too smart for that,
yeah,
bro.
He's too
He
smart.
ain't falling for that. Those Jedi mind tricks you got. This is a 5-time Olympian right here. Fuad, last question.
My question is for Wesley. And Chris's motto has been set the standard for quite a while now. But I don't think he's faced competition of your size and stature in his reign. So are you the new standard, or is Chris still the standard for Classic?
It's funny because when I won the Arnold Classic Ohio, me and Chris met backstage quickly, and he literally told me about that quote, that I now set a new standard for myself, which I have to uphold, because if I don't, you know what's going to happen. So there can be a new standard set depending on what the judges see on that night, what they like the most. In my opinion, I represent the golden era perfectly, and if I can then bring the modern conditioning, the proportions, the presentation with it as well, that can definitely be the new standard, as it is called classic physique, and that's what I'm trying to represent the most here.
You got one more, John?
I have a question for Hadi, Choopan. The political climate between our countries right now is not the best. How does being here in America, considering what's going on politically in our countries, how does that make you feel to be involved in bodybuilding here in America among all of us?
مسئله سیاسی اونا شدن چه حالی داری که الان اینجا هستی؟
خب من مثل المپیا همه فکر میکنن که المپیک آخر ورزشه، برای هیچ وقت نفهمیدم المپیا بالاتر المپیکه واسه ما و من اینجا هستم.
Everyone is thinking that Olympic is the biggest competition show in sports, but I think Olympia is bigger than Olympic.
ما اینجاییم که بزرگترین شو دنیا رو برگزار کنیم. اینجا همه خوب هستن، همه بهترینن. ما داریم اینجا فقط حرف میزنیم. بهتره که فردا شب عمل کنیم به حرفمون.
So we have here the biggest show in the world, so we're here. I'm here not to talk, and only I want to show my best tomorrow, and you're gonna see me tomorrow.
All right, Derek Lunsford, I'm going to start it. We started with you. I'm going to finish with you. Saturday night, we're down to the finals. This is it. What 2 words are you looking for before that big announcement comes?
And still.
That says it all, folks. That's going to wrap it up this year, folks, for the press conference tonight. All these gentlemen stars will be right here for Meet the Olympians. Hang on a second. Brendan, Jack, Samson, all the Mr. Olympia contenders. Let me get you guys up here.